This is an experiment with a spinning wheel, a rather large wheel, 13 inches diameter, mounted in a ball bearing on a shaft 3 feet long. I am going to hold it like this and swing it in a circle and lift it with one hand, but only when it's spinning. First of all, let me weigh it to show you just how heavy it is. As I talk, you'll see that lifting it is quite an effort. It weighs about 40 pounds, and I can't lift it any higher than that without a lot of strain. So now we'll spin it up to 2,500 revs a minute, at which point it becomes a live thing. Then I shall lift it 5 feet in 3 seconds by going round in a big circle. Whilst I'm doing it, I shall talk to you so that you shall tell from my voice that I'm not under any stress of any kind. Now in a minute I shall let go with my left hand, and holding this remote end of the shaft only, I shall lift the wheel through 5 feet, all on its own with no effort on my part. All I do is apparently just to steer it along a path that it's already decided it would like to go. Then there's the question of how you stop the wheel. At that speed, that wheel has enough energy to throw itself 200 feet in the air. Did you notice that as it went round in a circle, there was no centrifugal force trying to pull my arm out sideways? Let's just do it once more. To save time, we've already spun it up. So here goes 40 pounds of wheel as light as a feather. This is not a conjuring trick. This is a fact of science. Watch it again carefully. A fact about a spinning wheel that so far everyone has missed.
Suppose I have here a string, a rope, like we have there. And I stick into that rope, I attach to the rope this wheel, just like so. And I let it go. Well, we all know what will happen. Clunk. It's clear. All right. But now I'm going to spin it before I let it go. Where's the wheel? The wheel is here. So we'll spin it up, and then we'll put it in here. Notice the way I'm spinning it. I'm holding it away from you now. I'm going to change it and do it differently next. And there it goes. About 10 seconds. Isn't that amazing? And it rotates seen from below clockwise. Now it's going this way, and I'm going to redo the experiment, changing the direction of rotation, and then it will go the other way around. And now the angular momentum, is it rotating like this, is pointing here. Spin angular momentum is pointing like this. Torque is like this. And so the spin angular momentum is chasing that torque. I'm the spin angular momentum, I'm the torque. This is the torque. It's chasing it. Alright, so I had this in my right hand. That's alright. And now I will, so when I spin it up, so let it first go around, which was roughly 10 seconds, what we calculated. And now I'm going to put 2 kilograms here at the end. And then you will see an instantaneous increase in the precession frequency. You see, it goes much faster now. I take it off, and then it goes back to its roughly 10 seconds. So what I have done is, I have increased this torque, but not at the expense of m. Because the reason why the m cancels is because the moment of inertia has an m in it. But if I just hang this object on it, that doesn't change the moment of inertia of the spinning wheel. None of this is intuitive. None of this is intuitive.
What in the world do these videos have to do with the game of tennis? Well, they are intended to be a reality check and the food for thought for all those who in their quest have come to embrace and wholeheartedly believe in such rituals as pronations, snapping of the wrists, brushing of the balls, elastic energy, windshield wipers, and God only knows what else. A bit of scrutiny and critical thinking definitely is long overdue here. Since, during the service action, as well as some ground strokes, the racket is being swung at close to 100 miles per hour. It would be reasonable to assume that, for exactly this moment, the movement of the player's arm with a racket in it will have a lot more in common with the objects featured in these videos than with some windshield wipers. As a matter of fact, you can be absolutely sure that the arm and the racket will fall under the full jurisdiction of the same laws of physics and the same forces, which, as you have witnessed, coming seemingly from nowhere, compel these wheels to do the things they do. Unreal as it might seem, this is the true reality, which any tennis player would be well advised to take into consideration and ultimately learn to cooperate with. If anyone ever wanted to know the true secret of Roger Federer's power, this is it. A great deal of players, to their own detriment, do not give it any thought. With the help of the various fantasy peddlers, they have come to believe that any conceivable machination can be imposed upon the swinging racket. That, with absolute impunity, just the flick of their wrist can stand up to the forces which easily lift 40 pounds of iron up into the air, or hold a wheel vertically. This is nothing more than a case of self-deception. Such thinking has become commonplace in tennis, and it is allowed to persist not because there is any truth to it, but because its falsehood is not as apparent, and cannot be spectacularly debunked as in some other disciplines, where the rapidly rotating objects will keep you honest by being a lot less forgiving.